All right, just start a new video here. It looks like all the water flow is dissipated off at this point, so we still got some rock in the pipe here. Can't tell if that freaking pebble right there is what's stopping everything up or not. Let's find out. Push it out of the way or not. Far enough off to the side there that water can get past it if it wants to. I moved that pebble out of the way there a moment ago off to the side so that water can get around it. We still have standing water coming back at this point here. Not as much, but standing water nonetheless. Yeah, we've still got water coming all the way back to here at 65 feet. You know, at this rate, the most concerning part is most of this pipe here, this does not have hardly any weight on it. I mean, other than maybe an inch in some spots, inch or so of rock. So once you go and put another couple feet of earth on that, compact it and everything, I have a sneaking suspicion this is going to shift more. But at this rate, with the amount of standing water we've got here, I mean, about the only thing you're going to be able to do with that is, I mean, to fully correct that with the tolerances you're working with here, it's going to require regrading a lot of that. And I'm not sure, I mean, even if we put more water down line, we have not let water just run through here for an hour straight. It's entirely possible that, I was telling your compadre here, if you have a spot theoretically that might hold as much as 2 inches of water, for instance, if you don't run enough water down it to fill that and every other low spot in, I mean, sometimes you got to run water for quite a while before you actually see the full extent. And we still have a little bit of water trickling through there. Would you mind pulling that out of the pipe, dude? We're gonna let the line sit here for just a minute. I'll let this thing sit for a second here to see if that drains off or not. Uh-oh. I just saw a little particulate float by. We're going to give that just a minute longer here. I think at this rate, this thing should be drained out now. We've let that sit for a solid 5 minutes at least now, if not better. So that spot there, that looks like good old-fashioned settling. There's not enough rock at the end of it to dam that whole section up there. Starting to get to a point here where it looks like we might be completely draining off now, potentially. But we still have a little bit of a line going down the middle here. You can see there are particulate in that is moving forward. You look very close at the water. That's a hard one. I mean, ideally what we see here is that water line completely dissipate altogether. You do have some sand and whatnot in the flow line there, which can kind of, I don't know if it's what causes it, surface tension or whatnot. Sometimes a little bit of stuff in the flow line can get water to hang around it, but if you see the line going down the middle where you have a little bit of sand, whatnot, dirt particles, I mean, that little line going down the middle is a lot thinner than the water line is right now. So those particles are kind of moving there. They look like they're kind of wanting to stop though. I think some of that's just from my camera moving back, dragging some water with it. The water line's getting skinnier and skinnier here as we go. Back in here, this is almost nothing. With a little bit of the particulate that is in there right now, though, it does make it kind of tricky. You can get water that will almost stick to stuff like that and kind of create an illusion. That water line is so thin that it's hard to tell. I mean, when pipe is brand spanking new too, water almost sticks to it in a way. I'm not sure what causes that necessarily, but that line is so thinned out now, I'm not entirely sure if that's truly standing water or not. It's kind of a hard one. I'm going to push back out here for just a moment to see if any of that remains. So right there is about the first spot we have finally reached where you do not have a continuous water line going down the middle of the pipe. Those are just water droplets. You can see how they kind of sit and stand there though. And that's what's hard. When you get stuff that's this subtle, it's hard to know if it's truly standing or if I don't know if it's a static thing, surface tension thing that causes water to stick to the pipe. But you can see how there's a difference in what we're looking at now versus what we had up ahead. You push back out here and you get back to that same kind of water line. So it's a hard one. Obviously this is getting to a pretty minimal amount here at this point. By the time you get to here around 60 feet, most of the water starts to dissipate off. There's still a little bit left over. And I scope brand new construction lines very frequently. Even with what I'm talking about, you get some kind of oddity stuff with brand new pipe like this. Once a line's been around for a while, that does not continue to happen any longer, where water kind of sticks to the pipe bottom. But generally speaking, you won't see that stuff. Generally the line will drain off completely. You get some situations though where you have a little bit left over that just sticks there. Almost tempted to have you. The hose is pulled out right now.
Yep.
Okay.